Okay, so you know that feeling, right, when like you open your laptop and it sounds like a hairdryer that's about to blast off?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, that was me last week, and it got me thinking, like, really diving into all those computer maintenance checklists I keep meaning to look at.
Right.
And you know what? Turns out I am so not alone in this whole, like, ignore your computer until it explodes thing.
It's true. It's true.
I mean, our digital lives basically depend on these machines, but most of us, we don't, like, give them a second thought until, bam, something goes wrong.
Yeah.
So for today's deep dive, we are talking all things proactive computer care.
I like it.
We've got checklists for everything. I mean it, everything from, basic cleaning to like full-on gaming optimization. We're going to break it all down, figure out what actually matters.
Sounds good. Yeah, it's like, when you go to the doctor for a checkup, it's kind of like that,
Yeah.
but for your computer.
Right.
We often wait till there's this like huge problem, but honestly, regular maintenance, that can prevent so many headaches, trust me.
Absolutely. And just like a doctor would be all over you to eat your vegetables, this computer maintenance checklist is like really big on keeping things clean.
For sure.
And I'm not even talking about like deleting old files here. I'm talking like actual dust bunnies clinging to fan blades for dear life.
Oh, yeah.
Crumbs, like setting up camp between your keyboard keys. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I've seen it. And honestly, all that buildup, it doesn't just like look bad. It can seriously mess with your computer's performance.
Right?
Oh, yeah. Dust's like an insulator, right? It traps heat. Makes it way harder for your components to stay cool.
Okay, so that explains the whole jet engine symphony my laptop was putting on. Any tips for like actually tackling those dust bunnies effectively? I feel like I'm always fighting a losing battle.
Canned air, my friend. Canned air is your best friend. But here's a pro tip, okay? Angle the nozzle slightly away from the components.
Oh, okay.
Don't blast them directly. Blowing straight on, it can actually push dust further in, and then you're not doing anything, you're making it worse.
Okay, see, I am so guilty of that. Just blasting away, no method to the madness.
Yeah, no, it's a common mistake. We've all been there. Another thing, it's super crucial on this whole computer wellness checkup, keeping your software updated.
See, those update notifications, they're like the bane of my existence.
I know.
But ignoring them, that's got to be like leaving your front door unlocked, right?
That is a really good way to put it. Outdated software, it can have these vulnerabilities that, hackers can totally exploit. Think of it this way. Software updates, they often have security patches, right? Like it's like fixing a broken lock on your door.
So every time I hit that update button, I'm basically like hiring a digital bodyguard for my computer.
Basically, yeah.
Right.
And in the checklist, it also mentions disk maintenance. Think of that as like giving your computer a nice, thorough internal organization.
Okay, so if we're sticking with the house analogy, if updating the software is like, locking your doors, disk maintenance is like what, tidying up your digital house?
Exactly. You got it. It helps your computer, access files quickly, efficiently, no problem.
Yeah.
And just like when your home is like organized, it can really, to reduce stress, a well-maintained disk can seriously make your digital life so much smoother, so much more enjoyable, just better.
Okay, so we've covered like the foundation here, right? Keeping our computers clean, updated. But what about like taking things up a notch? I'm talking boosting performance, upgrading hardware, like really optimizing our setups.
Yeah. Let's get serious.
Because let's be real, even a perfectly maintained computer, it can always benefit from a little extra TLC, a little, treat yourself. We've got checklists here for like everyone, gamers, remote workers, you name it. And full disclosure, I am always down for a good upgrade. Speaking of this gaming PC optimization checklist, it gets into some pretty interesting stuff.
Oh, it does.
Like really specific.
Yeah, and one of the things, it's really effective, but people, they get confused about it. It's overclocking.
Okay.
It's like, imagine, right, you're fine-tuning your car's engine. Okay. But you're doing it to get peak performance.
Okay, now that is an analogy. I can get behind that one.
Right.
So instead of like a mechanic in overalls, we're talking about tweaking software settings to kind of like squeeze out more power?
Exactly. Yeah. You're adjusting things like clock speeds, voltage, all very carefully. And you're pushing the hardware. You're going beyond those factory settings they give you. But, and this is a big but, this is not for beginners.
Yeah, the checklist, it definitely mentions like potential risks. And I don't know about you, but I don't want my computer bursting into flames just because I was trying to get a few like extra frames per second.
Right. No, exactly. Exactly. Overclocking, always, always approach it carefully. And monitor, monitor, monitor. Luckily, they have specialized software now, helps you keep track of like temperature, stability, all that while you're, experimenting with those different settings.
So it's like having like a digital pit crew on hand, just like standing by, making sure everything's like not melting down while you're pushing your computer to the max.
Exactly. 100%. That's a really good way to put it. Now, whether you are a hardcore gamer or, you're just trying to give that old machine of yours a little bit of a pep in its step, the hardware upgrade checklist, you got to check it out. Have you looked at this one?
Oh, this one brings back memories, good and bad. I am remembering that time that I tried to upgrade my graphics card, and it was like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. It was not good. Compatibility. Oh my gosh, it is crucial. This checklist, it drives home that whole research planning, before you even think about hitting that order button on any new component. Really important stuff.
Yeah, because there is nothing, literally nothing, that kills the excitement of a good upgrade, like realizing that shiny new graphics card.
Yeah.
Not compatible with your motherboard. Buzzkill. Total buzzkill. Yeah, it's think about it, like planning a road trip, right? You're not just gonna hop in the car, hit the gas without, checking the route, making sure your car can actually handle the drive.
Okay.
It's the same principle, right? Hardware upgrades, same deal.
And just like you would pack a spare tire for that road trip, backing up your data. Essential.
Yeah.
Before you even think about doing anything.
Absolutely. Speaking of data, good transition there. That takes us right into the next critical topic, the data backup and recovery checklist. It's all about peace of mind. In this digital world, anything can happen. Data loss, it can be devastating.
Oh, it's so true. It's like that saying, right? Data is king, but backup is queen.
Yes.
We store everything on these devices. I'm talking family photos, all those important documents, probably even those embarrassing teenage diaries that we'd all rather just pretend never happened.
Oh, so true. And yet so many people, they don't do it. They neglect this crucial part of digital hygiene. This checklist, it really makes you think. Because it's not even if data loss is going to happen, it's when in.
And when it does, you do not want to be caught unprepared.
No, you don't. And this checklist, it's great because it encourages us to think about backup strategies. How about having multiple copies of your data in different places, just in case?
Okay, so that's having a fireproof safe at home, but then also a safety deposit box at the bank.
Right.
If one fails, you're covered.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's not even just about choosing the right, backup method, whether it's an external hard drive or cloud storage or some kind of combination. It's about, did you test them? Are they updated? Are they even working?
Because what good is a spare key, right, if you don't realize it doesn't work until you are locked out?
100%. This checklist, it's there to remind us. Backups, they're not a one and done. It's got to be an ongoing process.
Yeah.
Okay, but we've talked a lot about, keeping our current devices happy and healthy, but what about when it's time? It's time for an upgrade.
Or that old laptop, it finally gives up the ghost. That's where responsible disposal comes in, right?
Yes. And, this is something, people don't think about this enough. We all, we have that drawer. It's full of old phones, chargers, random gadgets. We have no idea what to do with this stuff.
Oh, the drawer of neglected electronics. We all have it. I have 3.
Right. The e-waste management and disposal checklist shines a light on how important it is.
Right.
We got to handle these devices responsibly for our own security. And let's be real. The planet's not going to complain if we're a little nicer to it.
And it all starts with data security, right? I mean, we wouldn't just throw out a diary full of our deepest secrets without shredding it, right? Taking a black marker to every page.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Our devices, they know everything about us. We're talking browsing history, financial data, you name it. We've got to erase all that before it goes anywhere near a landfill.
So this checklist, it mentions wiping our hard drives.
Yes.
But is that really enough?
That's a great question. And it's more than that.
Yeah.
Even after a hard drive has been wiped, there are ways, there are very sophisticated techniques. They can recover data. It's crazy. This checklist, it talks about more secure methods like data destruction software, or even like physically destroying that hard drive, like taking a hammer to it.
Okay, wow. See, I did not realize it was like that involved. Hitting delete, that's not cutting it.
Nope, not if you're serious about this. And then once you've taken care of that whole data security part, then it's like, okay, what about the plan?
Yeah, because e-waste, that's not just clutter. That has like real consequences. We got to be better.
We do. And this checklist, it highlights electronics. They've got, hazardous materials. If those are not disposed of properly, they can like leach into the environment. That's not good.
We're talking like lead, mercury, cadmium, all that scary stuff. Not exactly what you want ending up in our soil or water or, drinking water.
Exactly. So just like tossing your old phone in the trash. No, bad. Don't do it. This checklist encourages us to like actually do the research.
Yeah.
Figure out responsible e-waste disposal options.
So like finding those certified e-waste recyclers in our local areas.
Yes. And a lot of retailers and manufacturers, they actually have like take-back programs for old electronics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a little research, it goes a long way.
Okay, so we've covered a lot. I mean, we're talking like the nuts and bolts of cleaning out our computers all the way to like the big picture stuff, network security. It's like we've gone from the doctor's office to a like high-tech security summit.
It's true, and it's all connected, right?
Yeah.
It's like taking care of our physical health, our digital well-being. It's multifaceted. It takes a lot of work.
And it never ends, right? It's a journey.
Oh yeah.
There's always something new to learn, a new threat, a new way to like optimize our digital lives. It's kind of exhausting when you think about it.
It is. But that's also what's kind of exciting about it.
Right? True. Yeah.
It's constantly evolving, keeps us on our toes.
So as we kind of wrap up this deep dive into like the wild world of computer wellness, what's on like one key takeaway, one thing you really want our listeners to remember, like long after this episode is over?
That's easy. You listening, you have more control over your digital well-being than you think.
Okay.
You really do. And by like taking those small but proactive steps, you can build like a digital life that's smoother, safer, and honestly, more enjoyable.
I love that. That is empowering. We don't have to be like tech geniuses to make a difference here.
Yep.
So whether it's, I don't know, finally tackling that dust bunny collection in your laptop fan, setting up a real actual backup system, or even just like dipping your toes into the world of password managers, every little thing, it helps.
Yep. Absolutely. And don't forget, all those resources that we've been talking about, all those amazing checklists, available 24/7 on our website. Download them, look at them, go through them at your own pace. No judgment here.
So it's like a whole security system, but, for my digital life.
Exactly.
Okay, I can get behind that. But where do we even like start with all this? It seems like a lot.
So it all starts with, this, right? The weakest link. It's always us humans. We're the problem. This checklist, it goes deep on passwords.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, I can't even tell you. Strong passwords, unique passwords for every single account you have. Every single one. Non-negotiable.
Okay, so no more like password 123. I think we've all been there.
Listen, I get it. Those shortcuts, they're tempting, but you got to think about it. Your passwords, they're like the guardians of your digital world.
Yeah.
A good, strong password, that's a complex lock. Good luck picking that.
Okay, so real talk. What even makes a strong password these days? Because it feels like the rules are always changing.
Okay, so good mix. You want it all, uppercase, lowercase, numbers, throw in some symbols while you're at it.
Yep.
Oh, and longer is always better. The longer it is, the harder it is to crack. That's just science.
And don't even get me started on those people who use the same password for everything.
Oh my gosh, please don't. Don't do that. That's like using the same key, right? For your house, your car, your office, everything. What happens if someone gets that key?
Yeah, game over.
Exactly. Game over.
This checklist, it mentions password managers. What do you think about those? Are they worth it?
Okay, honestly,
they
can be lifesavers, especially, and this is me, full disclosure, if you're the kind of person who can't remember like 5 passwords, let alone like 50, password manager, get one. It's like a digital vault, right? All your login info safe and sound, and you don't have to remember anything except like one master password.
Okay, that actually makes a lot of sense. And then this checklist, it goes beyond just our devices, right? It gets into the whole like network.
Yeah.
Which seems kind of intimidating.
It's true. Because think about it. Our homes now, they're basically mini networks, all these devices sharing that connection. This checklist, it really wants you to like look at your router. That's usually the gateway to your whole home network, right?
Okay, so it's like securing the front door to your digital life.
Yes, exactly.
But real talk, that sounds really technical.
I mean, it can be, but this checklist, it like breaks it all down into like manageable steps. So it's not so overwhelming. Like change your default password, right?
Yeah.
That's an easy one. Enable firewall protection. And come on, you know we're going to talk about this. Keep that firmware updated.
Okay, wait. So it's not just my computer or my phone that's always begging for updates.
Nope, everything needs updates. Your router's firmware, just like any other software, it needs those updates regularly. Otherwise, it's like leaving like a welcome mat out for vulnerabilities.
It's like installing a stronger lock on your digital front door.
Yes.
Perfect.
Speaking of security, this checklist also mentions VPNs, which always seems so mysterious. Okay, yes, VPNs. Virtual private networks. Think of it like a secret tunnel. Okay.
Yeah.
But for your internet traffic.
Okay, I'm listening.
So instead of, traveling through the Wild West of the open internet, your data, encrypted, safe, it's routed through a secure server. Makes it way harder for, those creepy internet people to intercept it or just like snoop on everything you're doing.
So it's like having a private internet connection, like just for me.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is especially like super important when you're using public Wi-Fi, which, let's be real, super insecure. It's like sending a postcard, right?
Yeah.
Versus a sealed envelope. One, anyone can read it. The other one, that's your business.
Okay, that is a fantastic analogy. So we have covered so much today. We really have, from like literally cleaning out our computers to like the more complex stuff, network security, all of it. We've gone from like the doctor's office to a high-tech security summit.
It's true. It's all connected.
Yeah.
And we've said it before. It's just like taking care of your physical health, right?
Mm-hmm.
Digital well-being. It's multifaceted. You got to take a holistic approach.
And the good news is we don't have to be like tech geniuses to do this stuff. We can all take control of our digital lives.
Yes, absolutely. We have more power than we think.
I love that. So whether it's finally, saying goodbye to those dust bunnies, setting up those backups, or I don't know, maybe even just like having a really awkward conversation with our family about like password hygiene.
Yes.
Do it.
Yeah,
Every
literally.
little bit counts, right?
Every little bit counts. And seriously, all those checklists, all those resources, they're on the website. Go check them out, download them, use them.
Consider them your digital wellness toolkit.
There you go.
All right. Until next time, everybody, stay curious.